You are an absolute beginner in sewing. You want to learn to sew but have no idea what supplies you need to get started. This video is for you. These items are 10 must-have sewing supplies you want to grab before you get started. Sewing machine. Of course, the first thing you will need to have if you are learning to sew is a sewing machine. There are so many machines available at the market, which the main types are industrial sewing machines and domestic sewing machines. So consider your demand and your budget before you make decision to buy one. Scissors. A good pair of scissors is a must-have when sewing. These will need to be fabric-only scissors because they will quickly become dull if they are used to cut paper or anything else. Sewing measuring tools. You will need to take accurate measurements when sewing garments or projects, so a measuring tape and a rulers are essential. It also have sewing curve rulers. It will be very handy when you need to draw curves. Chalk. Occasionally, you will need to use chalk to transfer stitch lines, dots, and other markings from your pattern to your fabric. Remember, never ever use regular pencils or ink pens on fabric. Pins. Another very basic supply that you will need are some pins. Pins are needed for pinning your project together prior to sewing. And you might want a pin cushion to keep them on. A pin cushion is a helpful tool to keep your pins organized and at hand when you need them. Seam ripper. You might make occasional mistakes like your stitches not coming out right. Maybe they coming out too loose or too tight, or stitching the fabric with the wrong sides facing each other, or stitching the left sleeve to the right sleeve opening. A seam ripper will help you to take out your stitches without destroying the fabric. Thread. You should start with white and black threads for sure, and maybe get a handful of other colors to get you going. Then, as you buy fabric for new projects, make sure that you grab matching thread. Bobbins. Bobbins are the part of your thread that comes up from the bottom. You will always need one in your machine. Every machine uses a different type, some metal and some plastic, so double check your user manual before you get order. Sewing machine needles. You might want to keep a few extra sewing machine needles handy because they will break occasionally, especially with people who are beginners. Iron and ironing board. You will need an iron and ironing board handy when sewing. Ironing fabric before cutting your pattern pieces can prevent disaster later, and ironing the seams after you finish your piece of clothing will give it that nice and professional look. There's a handful of other things you might want to have on hand like tasting wheel, rotary cutter, self-healing ironing mat, etc. Hopefully, this list of sewing supplies helps you get going on your journey to learn to sew. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you see this video is helpful, please give me a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below for more videos. And now, see you in my next video.